are screaming.
Coming up, BMX Dirt. Land speed, power, Rallycross. Starring Liam Doran. Featuring Travis Pastrana. Feel the flow. Skateboard Park. Eyes on Gold. Pedro Barros. Fluid Style. Banger Tricks. Current Cables. Hosted by Louis Vito and Brandon Graham. Theme by Bryce Vine. Featuring Kanye West and Pretty Lights.
This is where the wild things are.
Welcome to a massive Day 3 here at X Games Austin. The crowds are storming Circuit of the Americas, anticipating the marathon event schedule for the day, and it all goes off right now. What's happening, everybody? Brandon Graham alongside the Olympian and X Games medalist Louis Vito. A huge day lined up here at Circuit of the Americas. But before we get to that, Lou, can we just talk about the insane fan support we're getting here in our new home of Austin, Texas?
Brandon, that's actually one of the things I'm most stoked to see is how Austin's truly embraced X Games as a whole in our first year, whether we're at the state capitol, we're here at the Circuit of the Americas. We've had great crowds all week, and we're not even halfway done.
Very true, but you also have to give credit to the athletes, particularly the new faces. Guys like Jimmy Wilkins in skateboard vert, night one, putting it down in only his second X Games appearance, winning a gold medal. Nobody expected that. And how about last night, Tom Shar with the 900 off the quarter pipe, winning his very first gold medal, and in the process becoming the youngest to ever win in the entire event.
You know, it's always exciting to see new faces on top of the podium. It not only pushes the other riders, but it pushes the sport and mixes things up.
Yeah, that is for sure, and we will see if that trend continues now with BMX Dirt. For the call, let's head to the booth with Jim Coleman and Kevin Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brandon. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon out here for Day 3 of 4 X Games Austin, and it is a packed house here for BMX Dirt. We started off here in round 1. There's 12 riders in the lineup here to start us off. We cut the field down to 6 going into the final, and there are the guys competing out here today, including your returning gold medalist from Foz do Iguaçu, Kyle Baldock. Kevin Robinson, other standouts to watch for here today.
Our other standouts, we have Chris Childs and Clint Reynolds. They are our rookies to the X Games, but we cannot forget Mr. Ryan Nyquist, who's been with us since X Games 1997. Always a threat on the BMX Dirt competition.
Now, in the 13 previous BMX Dirt events we've had here at the X Games, there's been 9 different gold medalists. 3 of them are returning here in the lineup today. Talking about Ryan Nyquist, of course, Kyle Baldock, who we saw in Foz do Iguaçu last year, and this gentleman right here, he's the only guy to win consecutive medals. This is Corey Bowen.
Huge downwind, pumping around that berm. Yeah, the nice stylish one-handed table 3. Boom, with a giant Superman seat grab over the last set.
So Corey Bowen, I said he's the only rider to have won consecutive. He won 3 in a row, 2004, 2005, and 2006. Then the event took a 6-year hiatus until its return last year in Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil, as we take a look at some replays.
Check this out right here. Superman seat grab. He's grabbing that seat, pushing the bike away, stretching that feet out all the way, fully extended.
Tension on that.
That was a good, solid first run. This is one of probably the most difficult dirt course that's ever been in X Games Dirt history.
It's the first ever downhill course we've had for BMX Dirt, so speed is definitely a factor out here. 12 riders in the lineup. They're each going to get 2 runs. It's your best run that counts. The best possible run score you can get is 100, top 6, moving on into the final. Coming up next, this is his second X Games appearance. Got second place at the Red Bull Dreamline contest last year. This is TJ Ellis.
Oh, starting it off big with a big backflip, tail whip. Looked like he might have slipped the pedal.
Well, again, you get 2 runs. Well, that's a tough break there for TJ here in round 1.
Let's take another look here. Backflip, whips the bike around. He just missed his pedal. His pedal actually went under his calf.
Slipped the pedal there, and then the back end just kind of washed out to the left-hand side. See the frustration there. Tough break for TJ. We talked about speed being a factor on the course. For more on that, let's check in with the third member of our crew, Jordan Whitley.
Thanks, Jimmy. I spent some time with the riders up top, and they described this course as immaculate and scary. And as big as the features are here, the difference maker is something as small as this first takeoff right here, because you come out of the turn and you have to set up properly. Otherwise, it is game over for those two big jumps where we're expected to see some big things, guys.
Yeah, if you're the type of rider that favors turning to the right, you come out of that first hit, and then you've got two left-hand turns, one of those being a step up, and then you see the size, the scope and size of those jumps. I mean, that aerial shot, you see the size of the jumps, but it doesn't really do it justice on the pitch there. Coming up next, he's one of the most entertaining people you'll ever see on a bike. He's a crowd favorite. He's got a pretty big, deep bag of tricks. This is Mike Clark from Fountain Valley, California.
I love Mike. He's one of my favorite riders. His nickname is Hooker, and you're going to see why right here. A nice backflip, X up, one footer. X up, trying to pedal to get back that speed.
It looked like he hung his back wheel coming over to step up.
Yeah, the knack 360. Yeah, with a big cliffhanger backflip.
A big finish there for Mike Clark. Again, going through that step up, we'll have to see it possibly on the replays there. It looked like he got hung up and clipped the back wheel, and that's why he had to see pedal through that second burn.
Check this out right here. Backflip, grabs hold with his feet, lets go, extends his body. Taking it from the motocross guys, the cliffhanger, backflip. Chad Kagi really is the one bringing it to the BMX world.
So the best possible run score, once again, that you can get is a 100. It's your best run that counts. Top 6 moving on to the final. Corey Bowen sitting in the top spot as of right now with an 85 flat.
Man, I'm so happy right
and Mike Clark checks in with an 81.33. So that'll slide him into second place here in the early parts of run number 1. We're just getting started out here. The BMX Vert, or BMX Dirt Round 1. Right now, we're going to take a look back to how we got things started on Thursday night on Congress Avenue for the BMX Vert Final. So here's how we do it here tonight. No jam sessions. It's straight final here. 8 riders in the lineup. We started off with Michael Larin, then Dennis McCoy, Coco Zarita, Steve McCann, Chad Kagi, Vince Byron, Simon Tabron, and then the man we've been talking about, Jamie Beswick. The way it works out here tonight, it's 2 runs. The runs are 30 seconds in length, and it's the best run that counts. He has competed in every single vert competition they have had in the history of the X Games. It's none other than DMC Dennis McCoy.
I love Dennis so much. And look at this. Still blasting 540s up around the 7-foot mark with a huge invert. Yeah, with a big can-can flare.
Another thing to watch out here for Dennis, he does have that 900 in his arsenal of tricks, and spinning the bars in the 540. Wow.
540 bar spin, spinning around 540 degrees and spinning the handlebars. Go
and there's the 900. Oh, he came down hard.
BMC.
Wow, he came down hard and stung himself on the left side. And here we go as we bring in our next rider, Simon Tabron, also riding brakeless. Watch out for the height, and he's another one that has that 900 in his arsenal of tricks.
Oh, the huge invert up front. Oh my
look at the size of that.
So smooth. Huge 540 landing right at the top of the ramp. A little bit of a hang
watch
up.
This. A big alley-oop 540. Alley-oop, you're drifting the opposite direction that you're turning, and he will traverse the whole ramp.
With a nice can-can 540.
And again, doing this with absolutely no brakes. He and Coco Zarita, the only 2 riders in the field without brakes, and a big run for Simon Tabron. And
that was just amazing. Simon is pumping this ramp so well.
Well, you know, it's one of the things that he works on consistently is the height when he's at home riding out there at Elliott Sloan's ramp or at Tony Hawk's facility. And look, he's over the signage.
That's a 10-foot 540, 10-foot invert 540.
And he got speed out of it. That's another thing. It's a massive 540, but when he lands it, he pumps out of it. I mean, and he's not even completely around on the rotation.
Watch where his tires land.
Yeah, and
perfect.
Pumps out of it and then does an equally big air on the next wall. That is insane.
Simon is in such a good place. He's got twins due coming right around Halloween. I know he's really excited to have his babies come into this world with him, and he's living a good life right now. He's loving it.
And he moves into the top spot right now with an 89.66. And looking to make it 9, and here we go. Again, watch out for the height factor and watch the spin tricks.
Starts right out with a flare look down. huge downside whip to turn down.
Alley-oops that one and gets a turn down out of it. That is such a crazy combo there.
There's his flare down whip. With a nice alley-oop 540, traveling 3 panels. That was amazing.
That had to be a 25-foot plus alley-oop.
Oh, coming in a little nose first, but he's good at recovery.
I was going to say, even with the
going
slip
for the front flip flare, pulls it perfect, straight into a flare. Check this out.
And that's an opposite
turn down flare. Fast plant flare. Oh, my brain.
Now,
that was just unreal.
That was epic, but I got to say, if you're watching at home, those last couple tricks were after time.
That, regardless of the time, it was just amazing to watch him link that.
Now, he did the front flip flare last year, and Alicia did the Dew Tour after X Games Barcelona, but that was perfection on that trick. Look at this.
Perfect. Straight into the flare. Right to an opposite turn down flare. Fast plant flare.
What a finish to that run right there.
You know, you have your Muhammad Ali's, you have your Tiger Woods, people that you'll never see in our lifetime compete like that. And Jamie Bestwick is one of them.
So he's got the pressure off of him for right now. He looked like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders when he rolled in here into athlete staging earlier. 92.66, and he slides into first place. He's up on top of the roll, and he's been given the green light to go again. And, you know, another thing, not just the 900, watch out for the 540 variations. He spun the bars on a 5 in that first run. He's got a couple of different 540 and flare combos. Don't count this guy out. He's in for his second run.
He is the grandfather of BMX, as we've always called him. DMC still out here throwing it down, showing you he can do it with a massive 540. Little double invert there. Huge can-can flare, landed perfectly smooth.
See if he tries to spin the bar.
540 bar spin, locks it in.
He looked a little tentative.
Let's see what he's got.
But he throws that one again. He goes for the
front again.
Yes,
he does it. 900 DMC putting it down.
Take a look at that reaction from Travis Pastrana. Giving props to Dennis McCoy, 47 years old, the second oldest competitor out here. But this is it. It's all the marbles right here. This is the last rider standing between Jamie Bestwick and that 9th consecutive gold.
Huge can-can. Simon just showing you how to pump this ramp, keep maintaining his speed with that huge 540 one-hander.
A wild spin on that. It almost looks like he's going to over-rotate it, but he just brings it in just super smooth. And watch the alley-oop here.
Alley-oop 5 landing nice and smooth. Oh, something happened.
Didn't like the landing there, and he pulls out early with time on the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, for your 9th year in a row, the 9th X Games in a row, Jamie Bestwick goes home with an X Games Vert gold medal.
Here we go. He is in. This is a victory lap. He's taken 9 in a row, but here comes the Jamie Bestwick show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the huge alley-oop down whip. Whipping that bike right out from underneath him. The big flare whip, signature Jamie style.
And look at the alley-oop.
Alley-oop 5, he landed butter smooth.
He nosedives that thing and gets speed out of it. A big invert 5 there.
This is just a true testament. When you put in the time and the hours that Jamie does, goes for the front flip flare, gets out of it clean. When you can put in the time like Jamie does, not just in the gym, but on your bike, diet, taking care of your body, this just shows what can happen.
Hey, don't forget about the hot yoga. We talked about that earlier today.
Hot yoga.
Him and his wife do hot yoga. We saw the heat was a factor in Foz do Iguaçu last year, the vert comp, and it wasn't bothering him one bit, and that plays true here again tonight.
You know, once again, these competitors got to walk off just thinking, man, we tried again, you know, and they just can't unseat the champ.
Welcome back to Circuit of the Americas here. We are in the middle of run 1 of 2 here, BMX Dirt round 1. And why are those people all fired up? Because they just saw a big run by Pat Casey.
This is Pat Casey's first appearance for dirt.
Yeah, I was just
X
going to say, he's no stranger to X Games. He's always competed in park, though, so he's a dirt rookie out here, and he just threw down one heck of a run. Let's take a look.
Check this out right here. Truck driver spinning 360 degrees and the handlebar spinning, then double tail whip. Spinning that bike around twice, catching those pedals.
And again, just to recap, that last jump, that's a 9-foot tall takeoff, and you're shooting across a 27-foot gap. And with the downhill course like this, think of the amount of speed that you're carrying as you go through a trick like that. The high mark to beat prior to seeing Pat's score is an 89.66. That's being held on to right now by Ben Wallace. The way it works out here, we're in run 1 of 2. 2 runs, best run counts. We cut the top 6 and move them into a final. And Pat Casey, we're into the 90s with a 91.33. So a huge first run score there for Pat Casey. We still have 3 more riders left to go here in run number 1, including that gentleman right there, who is the returning gold medalist from last year's event in Foz do Iguaçu. More BMX Dirt when we come back to Austin.
On site. On site.
X Games Austin is brought to you by Ford. Beautiful things happen when you go further. And by America's Navy, a global force for good.
Welcome back to BMX Dirt Round 1. We are in the middle of run 1 of 2, and as we stand right now, Pat Casey is in the lead with a score of 91.33. Ben Wallace sitting just behind him with an 89.66, and Chris Doyle in third right now with an 87 flat. Remember, still a couple riders left to go here in run 1. Top 6 moving on into the final. Before we get into our next rider, let's take a look right now at the GoPro course preview.
What's up, guys? I'm Hucker. We're here in Austin. Everybody's psyched they brought back dirt. We're at X Games. Check out the dirt jumps. Yeah.
Dirt is definitely the root of BMX. It's kind of where freestyle started from, really. And it's sick because anybody could do it. All you got to do is find a little field, grab a shovel, and go wild. Create whatever you could think of.
So that's a pretty impressive shot of what it looks like on this course from the rider's perspective. Big thanks to Mike Clark for giving us that GoPro course preview. Coming up next, though, Ryan Nyquist. Take a look at that career stat. 16 BMX medals. He's in the second most all-time standings there. 9 medals on dirt. He's got 7 park medals. He got a bronze in Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil last year. He's definitely a favorite at this event, and he's in for his first of 2.
I was watching Ryan in practice, and he looks pretty dialed in this course. Yeah, with a 360 double truck. Truck driver to late suicide. Oh, Casey, that last jump. That's a perfect example of not having enough speed.
He got off axis on that flip, and you saw the real-time speed there. It was kind of a weird rotation in the flip.
It looked like he might have lost his pop. He didn't quite pop enough.
You see how the back end just kind of drifted to the right as he was coming in and just cases that one. And it looked like he had maintained a decent amount of speed coming through the run there. It's 2 runs out here today. It's your best run that counts. So with the fall there, that'll definitely be a throwaway for Ryan. Don't count this guy out, though, however. He's been in these pressure situations time and time again. This guy's been competing in X Games all the way as far back as 1997. And how many times in the history of the X Games have you seen this guy come from behind?
Yeah, Ryan's definitely no stranger to handling that pressure.
We move into our next competitor. He was our silver medalist when BMX Dirt returned last year to Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil. Just recently relocated here to the greater Austin area. He's able to spin big tricks in both directions. I'm talking about Brandon Dosh.
Check this out right here. He's starting off the big 720. That is a commitment right off the bat.
It might have been an opposite 720 for him to start off. That was an opposite.
It was opposite. And we'll look back 3. It's a double whip, putting down a good, solid first run.
Starts 720, 2 rotations, but you're spinning your opposite or unnatural direction right there. Talk about what a roll of the dice that is for your first trick out of the gate.
To come out first trick. Check this out right here. This is such a gamble. Up 720. He has to land this perfect going into that berm to maintain his speed to hit that step up. Right here, we got the big double whip. Just casing just a little bit.
How bad do you think that'll affect the score overall? You need a 91.33 or better to overtake Pat Casey. You want to crack into the top 6. You need an 80.33 or better. And again, we talked about the support of the fans out here in Austin. Look at the size of that crowd. We saw amazing, possibly record crowds last night, and we look to see more of that here today.
Oh, the support has been so insane from the Austin people. So many people showing up to support X Games.
So Dosh slides into 4th with an 85.66. But coming up next, a big heavy favorite in this competition, Kyle Baldock, rewinding the clock to last year in Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil, takes the win early on in the afternoon in BMX Park.
Bang with the cork 9. So because of this, he takes double gold and joins me in the double gold category.
Later on that night, the party continued for him down there in Brazil. Back-to-back gold medals there for Kyle Baldock. By virtue of that, that's why he gets to ride last here in round 1 by being the returning gold medals. This guy is a trick machine. He has some amazing video parts, and he's in for his first of 2.
Yeah, the cork 7 over that first jump lands it perfectly smooth. To a huge front flip on the second.
Coming to that last 27-foot gap. So starting to see a little bit of a trend here where some of these guys are having some speed issues coming down into that last hit. Again, it's a 27-foot gap going across that last set. It is definitely big and burly.
Not only that's a 9-foot lip, that lip is pretty steep for how much distance you have to cover.
Check this out, cork 7,
goes around, lands it. Right in the front flip on the step up.
Well, that, you saw he landed it. That seemed to kill off quite a bit of speed.
Back flip bar spin, hanging up, just catching that lip.
It looked like he was going to hang on and be able to ride that one out, but spin the bars.
He knew right there, he's sucking his back end in, trying to absorb that lip. Just quite couldn't get it over.
Just has to hit the eject button and go over the bars. You had to have a pretty good clip of speed to come around and front flip up that step up that you saw in that replay. It pretty much killed off the speed at that point in the run. So Kyle Baldock will only move into the 8th position there with a score of 80 flat. That completes run 1 of 2 here in BMX Dirt. Round 1, we still have another run to go. The top 6 will move on into the final. Before we get into that second and final run here, let's take a look back to yesterday's action from Enduro X Women's Final.
But there's some very important miles to come up in this Women's Enduro X Final. Tara Geiger, Casey Martinez, Chantal Bykirk, Christy McKinnon, Lexi Peugeot, Rachel Goodish, we're talking about her, Sandra Gomez, Morgan Tanky, Shelby Turner, Riley Ellinger, Melissa Harton, all lining up on the grid. Now here is Tara Geiger, the most decorated rider in this field. She was fastest in seeding. But the thing that we've got to look at, Jeremy, is over the last 3 years, in the last 6 races, we've only had Maria Forsberg or Laia Sanz winning. We're going to see a new gold medalist today.
We definitely are. Tara Geiger has some good experience with a lot of the motocross jumps that are on here, but you know what? We've seen this start. This start means a lot.
Oh, they held them a long time. Into the first corner. Round we go. It's going to be good issues on the outside, is it? Jumping over the tires for the first time. It's going to be Casey Martinez, who takes the lead on the 496. We've got some action. 3 girls going down at the back of your shot as they come over the matrix. The battle for second position is anybody's. Is that Morgan Tanky? Yes, it is. She's up to second place.
Oh, right in the logjam there. Number 2 bike with Rachel Goodish. Looking sharp. She got a good start.
Casey Martinez, the 23-year-old from California. She had a bronze medal as her best finish so far, but she leads at the moment as they come up the big hill. It's getting more and more cut up at the top of this hill, Jeremy. That could cause some more problems.
Oh, yeah. And as they come in the rocks here, you're going to see the girls getting through there nicely on the first lap, but as they go through this race, it's going to be very tiring, very difficult. You can see Gomez getting over that log nicely right there. But this track is going to be treacherous for these women.
Sandra Gomez, the 21-year-old from Spain. She's based just north of Madrid, the highest capital in Europe. There's big hot weather out there, so this kind of weather for her on the 93, she'll be used to that. Not quite sure about the humidity, but the sheer heat is nothing new. But we're going to stay with our leader, Casey Martinez, on the KTM, splashing down with those 12 G's of deceleration.
Oh man, you know, when you come into that water like that, there's the log, you kind of land on the pegs, your wrist, I mean, it's everything. And she right now is doing a fine job of getting through this course. It's going to be important for her to kind of have really, really good throttle control and keep a lot of traction while she's on those shiny areas. And you can see the track's just totally dried out.
Totally dried out. The water, we didn't expect that to really come out of the pool too much. A little bit of wind has dried it out. That log, as you can see, been nibbled away by the tires as she continues on. Keep it cool. Don't wave to the crowd.
Yeah,
we saw that last year.
Enduro X. You don't wave to the crowd on the last lap. You get this race in the bank.
Absolutely. Up and over. Yellow flag being waved over the matrix. But she's absolutely rock solid. Just the last little bit of a straight to go, and a little bit of X Games history is about to unfold, because we've seen over the last 3 years the Spaniard last side-staking gold on Maria Forsberg, but this time it is Casey Martinez who takes gold at X Games Austin in the women's Enduro X, and that's what it feels like to make some history in Texas. Sandra Gomez takes the silver, and it looks like Rachel Guttish is going to take the bronze.
Very nice. Bronze for the graduation.
So that's going to be a very good ride to Ohio tonight, but there's a massive smile underneath that crash helmet, isn't there, for Casey Martinez? That's what winning feels like. It's all worth it when you get to this moment.
Oh my gosh, you know what? It is. She is going to have a smile for days.
Jamie, let's catch up with a gold medalist.
Casey Martinez is victorious. I talked to you right before you went out, and you talked about Tara Geiger, and she made a mistake right where you said, take us through your race.
Yeah, that was crazy. I got a good start. I got out front and just let it from there. Try to, stay smooth, and I'm just so pumped right now. I worked so hard for this.
How hard did you work on learning how to jump for X Games? Because you said this is bigger than any race you guys compete in.
Yeah, I ride a lot of motocross back at home out at the track and stuff, and so I'm stoked.
Well, you have a bronze medal, but now you have the gold medal. Congratulations.
Mega thumbs up, and that's the gold medal. It's doubling up as a belt buckle here this year. Casey Martinez, only the 3rd women's gold medalist in the Enduro X after Maria Forsberg and Laia Sainz. Casey Martinez takes the gold here at X Games Austin in women's Enduro X.
Welcome back to BMX Dirt Round 1. A huge crowd on hand out here at the Circuit of the Americas race facility. We are in a run 2 up to 12 riders in the lineup. The top 6 move on into the final. Your current leader right now, Pat Casey, with a 91.33 on the bubble. Corey Bowen in 6th place, but on course right now in X Games rookie. This is Chris Childs.
Chris Childs took a spill in his first run. He ducks himself off. He's back out on the course. Barnesman one-handed X up. Little knack. Yeah, with a big 360 over that last set. He's got to be happy just to put down a good solid run.
Well, he took a gnarly slam there in that first run, and you can see him, he was getting up, he was trying to walk that one off. You can see the road rash that he's got going on the left elbow, the left knee there, but that was a super stylish 360 over that last 27-foot gap.
Chris is a true trails rider, and you can see just in his style.
So he was all the way down in 12th with that first run with the crash, 75.33, so this will be an improvement for him. But whatever happens with the score here, just happy to see him be able to get back up and take that run. And oh, he gets so close. He moves into 7th with an 81.66. He will not advance into that final. However, hats off to him there for getting up. That was a heavy slam and moving it from 12th into 7th there. Ben Wallace had an excellent first run, currently sitting in 2nd just behind Pat Casey.
Coming around that first berm. Oh, back up again, wanted a no-handed backflip. Yeah, the downside double whip. Missed his foot on that pedal, has to stop.
Well, you could tell by the flip into the step up, he was losing some speed after that. So as we await the score sit for Ben, let's check in one more time with Jordan Whitman.
Well, guys, we saw that Ryan Nyquist had a little trouble on his last run, and it's another unpredictable factor. It's the wind. He said gusts just come up after he's taken off, and it's just something he's going to have to deal with and adjust to for the next run.
Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, that was another thing. That was something we hadn't actually talked about out here yet. The wind, definitely a factor here from time to time. We saw it in Skate Big Air last night, and that definitely holds true for the guys out here on BMX Dirt. Reynolds rolling it in, another X Games rookie and another true trail style rider.
One-footed table 3, lands it perfect on the first jump. And a little one-footed invert. C-grab.
Stylish invert going over that last hit. You hear that roar from the crowd. Why? Because this is a home show for him. He's an Austin native. And they have a pretty impressive set of trails just off of downtown. The 9th Street jumps out there, a staple BMX history here in Austin, a massive BMX community here in this area. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is BMX Dirt Round 1. We're in Run 2 out of 2 here. 12 athletes in the mix. It's the best of your 2 run that counts. The best possible run score you can get is a 100, and the top 6 will advance into our final. Once we get into the final, the scores from round 1 will be wiped clean. Each rider will get 3 runs, and again, the best run will count, and that's hopefully got you leaving Austin with some X Games hardware around your neck.
Next up, we have Daniel Sandoval.
He came into this event as an alternate, got into practice. He actually broke his bike in a crash a couple of days ago. He had a great first run, had a crash towards the end, though. Let's see what he can put down here in round 2.
Coming in that first berm. Once again, he's riding brakeless. He has no brakes on his bike. Yeah, the tail to late, tuck no-hander. Double whip, landed perfect. What are we going to see here? Yeah, the big triple whip, landed perfect. What a fantastic run. No brakes, bombing down this downhill BMX course. That was awesome.
And again, he's another one of those guys. We talked about this with Pat Casey. No stranger to the X Games, but he's brand new to competing in BMX Dirt out here at this event.
Look, then that double tail whip, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Catching those pedals, perfect. Awesome, awesome run.
Wow. He was in 12th pre-run with that 75.33. You need a 91.33 to overtake the lead from Pat Casey. You need an 85 flat or better if you're going to try to overtake Corey Bowen or TJ Ellis, who are sitting in 6th and 5th, respectively, right now. Is this going to be enough? And it's not. An 84.66. He was knocking on the door, but it's not going to be enough. He slides into 7th. So, Corey Bowen is safe for now. There's only 2 guys outside of the top 6 right now that can shake up our top 6. We've got our current leader coming up. More BMX Dirt when we come back.
My daddy told me glitter ain't gold, young boy.
America's Navy presents Power Performance.
I'm Jamie Beswick, and I've just won my 9th gold medal. I know how to post the score. I know how to put pressure on people.
Oh, the front flip flare, pulls it perfect, straight into a flare. Oh, my brain!
I couldn't believe I pulled it that well. I was like, holy smokes, that was awesome. And I'm upside down, laughing my.
You have your Muhammad Ali's, you have your Tiger Woods, and Jamie Beswick is one of them.
The 9P, what it means to me is, well done me.
Well, Thursday night, Jamie Beswick continued to live the Golden Life, winning his 9th straight X Games BMX Vert event in a row, and social media blew up after he went and did that. Take a look at some of these tweets that went out on Thursday night.
Big support from all of his fellow BMXers and his fans. Jamie deserving it, showing you a true competitor.
Daniel Dare, Simon Tabron, and then Jamie himself saying thank you so much for all the kind messages. Look at that picture right there. You get a guitar when you win the X Games out here? That's awesome.
A cool gold bottle.
They see the hashtag. The first one said Gold Life. The second one said Milk It. So, a massive crowd out here on hand. And there's another notable face from Thursday night. Dennis McCoy. He took the bronze medal in BMX Vert, and he had medaled since 1998, and he became the oldest medalist out here at the X Games, in the history of the X Games, at 47 years old. Congratulations, DMC.
Oh, so proud of D. I love that man with all my heart.
Well, back to business here in BMX Dirt. If you're just joining us, this is round 1. We're in run 2 of 2. Rolling in right now is your current leader, Pat Casey, with a score of 91.33 from run 1.
Oh, the massive table 3. Kind of bow-legging over that second jump. Yeah, with the bar spin to late tuck no-hander. Oh! Just slipped his pedal a little bit.
Well, you know, he's in the lead right now with a 91.33. What he knows, he's definitely in, because there's only 2 guys left in the rotation that are outside of the top 6 to bump anybody out. So Pat cannot be eliminated. He will definitely be in the final. So save it. You got 3 more runs coming when you get to the final. Top 6 are going to advance. So the only 2 people at this point that are on the bubble are TJ Ellis and Corey Bowen. They're going to have to watch this leaderboard rather nervously, because with the likes of Kyle Baldock and Ryan Nyquist still to go. Actually, Ryan's due up next.
You know, Pat, very smart to kind of conserve himself. He knows he's in there, so save it for the finals.
Well, you want to use the practice time, use it as a dry run, get into that final, but definitely self-preservation is the name of the game. He's a bronze medalist from last year in Foz de Guasu. He's sitting in 12th. Can he do it? He needs to crack into the top 6. Ryan Nyquist.
Starting off the backflip bar spin with a truck driver over the step up. Double truck driver spinning those handlebars around twice.
A little clip there. Maintain the speed. See if he can get across. Now, with 2 hang-ups there at the end of the run, you need an 85 or better. TJ Ellis, Corey Bowen both have scores of 85. It's your best run that counts. There's 5 judges. They drop the high and the low. Average the remaining 3. First tiebreakers bring in all 5 scores.
Suicide to late bar spin, 360, and just clipping a little bit there. And that's what they'll take into effect. They'll take that into account, the judges. How smooth you land, if both your feet are on your pedals. All that stuff plays into the factor of being judged, whatever score you get.
Well, I was saying with the tiebreakers, they bring in all 5 scores and average them together. That's why TJ Ellis is ahead of Corey Bowen as of right now. So Ryan, no, and he's not going to be able to do it at 83.66. He was in 12th. It only moves him up into 9th. Ryan owns 9 medals in this event, but unfortunately here in Austin, he's not going to get a chance to add to that trophy case. This gentleman here, silver medalist from last year in Foz de Guasu. We'll see him in the final.
Oh, going for the 720 over the first jump, over-rotated and landed a bit low, lost his speed.
Well, it's okay. Brandon Dosh is safe. He's definitely in. And by the way, by virtue of Ryan not making it, TJ Ellis has now earned himself a spot. So the only guy left that could possibly be bumped out is Corey Bowen.
Yeah, Corey's sitting in the bubble spot, which is one of the worst spots you could possibly sit in. Pretty stressful.
Well, he'd love to get another crack at it. Brandon Dosh just having some fun with the fans out here in Austin. Recently relocated here to Austin. He's originally from Michigan. Moved to Austin in January of this year. So here we go. Your defending gold medalist from last year. He's down in 12th. Can he crack into that top 6? It's Kyle Baldock.
The huge cork 7 lands it perfect, maintains the speed. Oh, the double whip, perfect.
One more set to get over. That was a crazy looking front flip.
Nuts. That rotation was crazy. He pauses when he does the front flip and then tucks and brings the speed around at the end.
I guess that's what you have to do when you got to slingshot yourself across a 27-foot gap off a 9-foot lip. Take another look at this run.
There's the cork 7. Spinning 720 degrees, lands perfectly smooth. Look at this. Stretches his body out to carry his weight over that jump.
He takes off. It looks like a lawn dart when he does that. What do you think, Kevin? Is it going to be enough? 85 or better? He dabbed there on that last hit. Is that going to get him?
I'm going to say yes for sure.
And you're absolutely right at 86.66. So your defending gold medalist from last year slides into the top 6 in the 4th place position. Let's check in right now with Jordan Whitley.
Someone's excited. Hey, Kyle. Okay, take me through that final jump. What was going through your mind? The guys were saying you basically just slingshotted yourself up and landed.
Okay, so all right, the last jump is a bit different than normally. So the first jump's usually the biggest, but this one was it's the opposite. So it's small, around a berm, get down, and then you go down here and you're like, oh no, here we go. So that last one, I was like, not going to make it, but did anything else. So pretty much had to go, all right, come on, go. Oh, okay, sweet. And pretty much that's it.
Keep going, and you were the defending gold medalist coming in the top spot. What is it going to take to get one here on U.S. soil?
Don't drop a foot and be smooth. That's all. That's it.
If the other guys aren't listening, you just gave us the keys, guys. Send things back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. As you see that replay, I can't get over how crazy. I mean, he's literally parallel to the dirt.
Oh, he was looking forward as he started to flip. It was just that was insane.
So our top 6 are set. We get to do it all over again. They'll get 3 runs. It's the best run that counts. Pat Casey goes in as your top qualifier here with a 91.33. 3 runs. Who will win the gold? We'll find out when we come back for BMX Dirt Final.
X Games Austin is brought to you by The Real Cost. What are cigarettes costing you? Find out at therealcost.gov. A message paid for by the FDA.
Welcome back to X Games Austin here at Circuit of the Americas. Taking a look at the action outside the dirt course. You've got all sorts of things going on out there in the X-Fest. You've got a couple of different skate parks to check out. Check it out, 11-year-olds just out there cruising around, ripping it on the course. Yes, you can come out here and you can skate around. I saw 2 different. Have you been out there and walked around? Have you checked it out yet, Kevin?
I'm just so surprised at the turnout. How many people are out there checking out all the awesome booths, and you can get some delicious food, by the way.
It's insane. It feels like a music festival that's got the X Games at. There's so much going on out here. But back over here at the dirt course, BMX Dirt Final. 6 riders in the lineup here. 3 runs. It's the best run that counts. Kevin, who are you liking going into this final round?
This is definitely a stacked final right here. Kyle Boldock in the finals a month ago dislocated his finger, put it back in himself, and it's his brake hand. So it's the hand that he uses to grab his brake, but he's in there.
It's going to be an interesting final for sure. The 3rd set of BMX hardware we're going to hand out here this weekend. It's coming your way here momentarily, but before we get to that, let's take a look back at some action that went down last night as Ford presents today's best. Actually, taking a look back at the action earlier today, Chris Doyle here.
Table 3, big turn down 3 to late tabletop. Chris Doyle putting it down. Ben Wallace with a big look back 360 to tuck no-handed 3. And of course, Pat Casey. Check the slash jump off. Big truck gyra to late double tail whip. Key factor here is keeping your feet on those pedals, maintaining your speed.
And did you see that graphic? That's another valid point here. This is his first ever BMX dirt comp at the X Games, and he qualified first. We've seen him in park before, but this is the first time Pat Casey's ever been in dirt. And how about that? He qualifies first. We started off with T.J. Ellis. Watch out for big backflips and big front flip tricks.
Right there starts off the backflip tail whip. 3 in the step up. Yeah, with a tuck no-handed 3. Whoa!
Oh, no! I was wondering how he was going to maintain speed to get over that last set, but that was huge.
He just did a front flip tail whip. Amazing. Check this out. Front flip, whipping the bike around, catching it perfect. Didn't quite have enough speed, went for the can-can backflip. Cased right on the lip there.
Talk about rolling the dice at the end of the run. He almost got across, just got the back tire. Can't hang on. The difference here, though, from what we saw in round 1, they get 3 runs this time around. So you get an extra run. It's 3 runs. It's the best run that counts. The best possible run score that you can get out here today is a 100. So TJ going for broke there, but he's going to get 2 more cracks at it there, Kevin.
That's definitely the nice part. Is when you have 3 runs, you kind of have your throwaway run that you can kind of take a chance, give it out, then 2 more runs to save it.
Brandon Dosh recently relocated here to the Austin area. Silver medalist in this event last year in Brazil. Starts us off with a big 720.
720, pumping around that berm, up the step up. Double downside tail whip. Aqua 3.
Puts down the triple tail whip at the end of the run. So pretty much picking up where he left off in round 1.
Good, solid first run. Woo. That's always a nice feeling. When you have 3 runs, you like to come out your first run, put down a good, solid run, get the score on the board. It kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off. You can start having some fun.
Yeah, double tail whips into that step up. And that's been a bit of a challenge for guys today, trying to maintain speed, coming through that step up and going into that second berm shot.
Triple tail whip. Lands perfect, doesn't case the lip at all.
So he slides into the top spot with an 87.
It's Crew Jones right here.
6'6".
Yeah.
Giving some props to Crew Jones there.
Crew Jones from the movie Red. That is awesome. I just got goosebumps.
So your defending gold medalist from last year, he squeaked into this final by virtue of his final run in round 1. And look at how he starts it off here in the final, Kevin.
Kyle Bulldog throwing it down, the front flip. That's a big chance taker right there. The double tail whip. See what he's got in the last set. Bar spin, back flip.
I think he got the monkey off his back there in that opening round, and now he's just going for broke. We saw him start off the runs with 720s, but he threw a bar spin into that 720 to start off this run. He's feeling good, and it's showing right now.
Like I said, riding with an injured finger doesn't seem to be affecting him much at all. Right here, look at this. Bar spin, 720. Pumping around that berm, going up the step up, front flip. When you're landing on that jump, you're going right into the berm, so you got to be ready to turn. And if you don't naturally turn to the left, it can be challenging.
And again, with that dislocated middle finger, I mean, it's been a month, but still, I mean, you're holding on to the handlebars, and it's the brake hand. See him hold it up. As you said earlier, he put it back in himself. That's still going to be tender for quite some time. And look at that score. We're into the 90s here in the final with a 92.33. That is a huge first-run score.
Kids at home, don't put your finger back in yourself if it dislocates. Go to the doctors.
A veteran in the lineup. He's been competing at BMX Dirt all the way back since 1998. Look for the super smooth style here, Chris Doyle.
Bar spin to bar spin, back 360. Huge no for the can-can, taking both those legs, stick them over the top two. Yeah, and a nice tail whip 360. Case a little bit. That one little case just affected his speed going into that last jump, and he knew it.
Well, he's still got a smile on his face. And again, with the format here in the final, you've got an additional run. You've got 3 runs this time around. Plus, you don't have to wait for 12 riders in the lineup to get your next run to come around. With only 6 guys in the lineup, the runs come a lot quicker. It's easier to stay warm, stay loose.
Right there, big chin vert 3. Cases just a little bit, which slows him down. Tries to pedal to save that speed. Cases again. When you case the landing like that, it's hard to keep your feet on the pedals. It can blow your feet right off the pedals.
So this will definitely be a throwaway score for him. But like I said, he's been doing this since 1998. He owns 4 medals in this event. 2 bronze, 2 silver. He earned out 4 of those medals 4 years in a row, by the way. A little history on Chris Doyle. Our second place qualifier coming out of round 1. He looked pretty solid in both of those runs. Another guy that's able to spin big tricks in both directions out of the UK. Talking about Ben Wallace.
You know he'd like to earn a medal. He doesn't have any medals yet in his X Games appearances.
Look how fast he's going in that stoom.
Oh! Going for the flip whip. Backflip tail whip on that jump, cruising into the corner that fast. That is a chance taker right there.
That would have been big if he was able to pull that. He had so much speed as he came around that first turn.
Yeah, top no-handed 3.
Pedal through that. That was pumping through that. He didn't pedal once through that first turn, and he had so much speed as he went through there. A tough break for Ben there. But again, 2 more runs to give it a go here in this final.
First run, so he'll be back out in his second run.
Your top qualifier out of round 1. Watch the rotational tricks. Pat Casey coming into the step up.
Yeah, the nice chin vert 360. Oh! Saves it, hangs on.
We saw that trick in round 1 out of him, the truck driver to late double tail whip. Truck driver's at 360 when you spin the handlebars, and then he adds the late double tail whip at the end there, but clips the back tire. So Kyle Balvox, the high mark to beat thus far with a 92.33 as we await the scores here. For Pat, take a look at some replays.
Here we go. There's truck driver spinning the handlebars around to late double tail whip. See right there, his feet aren't on the pedals yet, and then he clips his back wheel so it bounces your feet off the pedals. He was able to hang on and ride away.
I was going to say, give him credit on that one. His feet never did touch the ground. They were close. He never dabbed a foot, though. He ended up riding that one out. It's good enough to slide him into 3rd right now. We've completed run 1 of 3 here in the final. Take a look at this massive crowd out here on hand at Circuit of the Americas. But at the end of round 1 of 3 here, your defending gold medalist on top, Brandon Dosh sitting in second, and Pat Casey sitting in third with 2 more runs to come. Time now for Pure Adrenaline, presented by Geico.
Pure Adrenaline, presented by Geico.
There's a new generation of vert skaters. You know, Jimmy Wilkins is leading the charge now. Love his style, smooth as butter. Ollie 540. Are you serious? Wow! Over the medal stand, Jimmy. The youngest gold medalist in vert skateboarding history. Now, this is a bit of a changing of the guard.
Pretty happy, mostly shocked. I don't know. I don't think it's registered yet, so.
How's it going? I'm Ryan Nyquist. I'm here in Austin, Texas at the X Games, and joining me right now is Mr. Chad Curley. Chad, well, let's, without further ado, let's take the first video call.
Yeah.
Can I get some tips on nose manuals?
Yeah, man. But if I go over the bars and I break this phone, I'm blaming it on you.
I think this is the future. Like, you could have, like, your coach Skyping with you while you're doing your run and yelling at you, saying what tricks you should do. Woo! Chad, you're sweating like a beast right now.
Always sweating.
This is the final call we're taking.
What up, primo?
You got a trick for this guy or what?
A bar spin the table.
Ooh, this is gonna be great. Here we go.
Oh! Yeah, fun stayed on and everything.
See some of the fans there calling Chad out on some tricks on course. You can go to xgames.com now to see the rest of the Skype chat with Chad Curley. Now, Chad went into that BMX Street Final yesterday as one of the Fabby favorites, but he had a little rough go in the heat, and in round one, he wasn't able to advance into the final. He overheated a couple times. You see him there getting the cold rags and the ice packs put on him, and talk us through some of the slip-ups there in his runs yesterday.
Yeah, his first run he had some trouble, but he came back his second run, and I still don't agree with the choice. I think he should have been in the finals. He had a good second run. I think he kind of got judged against himself.
Yeah, just a small hang-up at the end of that second run, but it was Garrett Reynolds who would add yet another gold medal to his trophy case in this event.
No stranger to gold. Garrett gets his medal back. Once again, sitting on top, holding the gold medal position.
He had 6 in a row prior. He now adds a 7th, so a big day yesterday out there in BMX Street. And you know what? Congratulations to Dakota Roche as well. With a hard-fought silver medal, he was in the lead for most of that competition, and it all came down to that last run for Garrett. Here in BMX Dirt Final, however, we've got 2 more runs to go, and your defending gold medalist from last year in Brazil, Kyle Baldock, is in that top spot as we go to the top of the order here. TJ Ellis currently outside of podium at this point, sitting in 4th. If he can clean up just a little bit here at the end of the run, he could crack up into that top 3.
You know, his best place so far in X Games is 5th place, so I know he'd like to earn himself a medal. 360, keeping his speed. Yeah, going for the tuck in their hand. He didn't quite extend it.
There's that front flip tail whip again. Oh,
TJ, that front flip tail whip again.
Let's knock the wind out of himself. Maybe just a little winded there. Just TJ.
Sometimes you just gotta lay there and collect your thoughts.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta lay there for a second. Just collect yourself. Take a deep breath.
And at the same time, too, sometimes when you crash, it takes a second for it to set in. You think you're okay, and then you kind of got to lay there and let it kind of manifest and see what happens.
Well, you know, another thing, too, with the heat out here, the fatigue factor plays in as well.
It is so hot for these guys to ride.
So we'll give TJ a minute to recompose himself here. We'll come back with more BMX Dirt.